Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about thinking versus believing. Now, this is very important so you can start to understand what you need to do to step into the right direction. So, let's just get right into it. So, with thinking, how do you know if you believe it if you get an emotional response to it? So, let's say you think a certain thought like I am amazing. I'm a confident person. And there's a void in emotion. You do not feel any emotional response. Chances are you don't believe it. And if on top of that, if you actually feel a negative emotion, it most likely means you believe the opposite is true. It's merely the fact that you don't believe in what you're saying. Um, so it is very crucial tool to understand that your emotions are just messengers of what you're thinking. So then you can use it as a tool so you can understand it. So for example, if you're feeling shame, you have to, now that you know that you're feeling that emotion, you have to find the root cause of that thought and then start changing it and believe something else. It does take practice. You do need to believe that thought, build up that mental muscle inside of your brain to believe that you are worthy. So, yes, now there's a reason why you can't just think something, and why it shouldn't, anyways, why it shouldn't be that if you just think something, you believe it right away. Because imagine, we have 60 thoughts a day, right? Imagine one thought comes, hey, I'm an elephant, and then you just start believing that you're an elephant, or hey, I'm a horse, and then boom, now you feel like you're a horse. That would be erroneous. Like, that just wouldn't work. So it is good to have that you don't believe a new thought right away. You want to build up. So if that's what you have to look, you have to look at what thoughts do you want to build up in your life to believe. And here's some for you: that everything in my life happened for a reason, for me to become stronger and greater. I am amazing, I am worthy, I'm worthy of love. Why aren't these things that you should be able to believe? You can believe them, and you should. Because when you do, that's when you're going to change as a person and step into that future self of you, of who you want to be. Because if you don't love yourself, then you're filled with anger and shame and hate of who you are. So why would you want to step into a direction that would improve who you are when you don't deserve improvement? You don't deserve, you're just worthless. You just better be just stuck where you are. So yes, that's why I want you guys to start observing all your thoughts, and mostly your unconscious thoughts, and be consciously aware of it consistently, like all the time. Because that is where all the damage is being done, these unconscious thinking, which are producing these negative emotions. Now let's say with people who love themselves and are confident, they will think occasionally, right, because brains just do this, they'll think of a negative outcome, but they'll observe it and not believe it. So they don't have an emotional response to it, and they don't attach to it and repeat it over and over and over again. When the repetition is there, that's how you create that belief. So they stopped it in a track and they said, no, it's not true. That's the difference between someone who believes himself and maybe someone, if you don't believe in yourself, that's what the difference is. You didn't stop that thought in its tracks when it first began to build up its momentum. You just allowed it because you just didn't think those thoughts would have actual long-term harm. But I'm telling you, just something merely as simple as a thought that I'm not worthy can alter your life completely. So keep looking into your emotions. What do I feel right now? And then when you feel that emotion, if it's fear, why do you feel scared? Why? Question it. And keep asking why and why and why. And it's good to get a piece of paper and a pen and just keep writing down. And I would say 99% of the time, you'll come to a logical conclusion that it was a false belief system. It was a false fear that your subconscious mind created. and you know, you did create it, but you created it as a child when you didn't understand things and you were scared, and you were meant to be scared as a child because you can't explore the outer world alone. You need your parents to survive. You're not physically big enough, you're not intelligent enough at that age. So you learned this programming, which at the time was important. But as an adult, you need to reprogram your mind and allow your brain to do the work for you, so you can get the brain working for you rather than against you. And that just comes with observing your thoughts and your emotions and changing them. Now, there is an algorithm, I think I mentioned in my last video, and I will make a whole new video on it, so then you guys can start to implement this in your life and starting to see change happen. And you know, you will notice change pretty fast, but you won't notice like your whole emotional state change in 1 month. This takes a long time. It does. How long varies between people, but I would say where you completely change your emotional state, maybe a year, but where you see a noticeable difference, where you're starting to go to these events and you're not feeling anxiety and shame and this and that as much, or reduced, or maybe non-existent, but you're not completely confident, then that could be 2-3 months. Anyways, I want to keep this video shorter, and I'll try to upload at least once every other day. Thank you for watching, and stop waiting and start creating.